So apparently the Chicago Bears have reached out and inquired about star defensive tackle Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's talk about this and if it's legit or not, and if it even makes sense. So what is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, man, I feel here to talk about the Chicago Bears and here to talk about this, I guess, rumor, report, if you will, in regards to Chris Jones. Before I get into that, if you guys are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button down below. Please make sure you turn on the bell notifications and hit that so you're notified every time I drop a new video, guys. So let's get into this here, all right? So the report and or rumor, I guess, is really that Ryan Poles has reached out to the Chiefs about the Chris Jones situation and talking about the interest that the Bears have for Chris Jones. And this is coming per Pain Insider of the Todd Furman podcast. He's a professional gambler who's kind of plugged in with, obviously, NFL people. And then it was also kind of re-reported on ESPN 1000 by Carmen DeFalco, saying that he has heard these rumblings as well. And so let's just, talk about the situation and why this is even a report and a rumor, if you will. Look, Chris Jones obviously right now wants a new contract from the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? He is pretty much holding out, and I've even seen that he has said that he won't report to like week 8 unless he gets a new contract. And for whatever reason, the Chiefs are not willing to give him a new contract at this point, okay? And so obviously the two sides have some disagreements there, and hence why you see Chris Jones being sort of recruited or reached out to by teams because they want to see, hey, if he's not happy there, if he wants a new deal, are you willing to trade him? Now, Chris Jones is one heck of a player, one of the best defensive tackles in football. Like, he is unbelievable, had an amazing season last year. Like, he is mega productive, okay? But as far as the Bears, does it make sense for them to go after Chris Jones? To me, I'm going to lean towards no more than yes. I'm not completely out on it, but hear me out, okay? Chris Jones is 29 years old, and yes, defensive tackles can be productive still in their early 30s. I'm not saying Chris Jones is going to be washed in a year or two or anything like that. He can still be productive, but I just feel like the timeline does not match up that well. And this would be kind of similar to the Khalil Mack trade, if you will. It would kind of change up the defense and, maybe this is something, again, that's why I'm not completely out on it, but I'm just saying maybe this is something that could completely energize this defense because you just have such a monster in the middle here with Chris Jones. But again, the timeline of a young team who is not ready for contention yet, you have to consider that because Chris Jones is a guy who is ready to contribute right away. Okay, so that's the first thing. I just don't know if he fits the timeline of this young Bears team, which is not ready yet to be a contender. Maybe in a year or two, but right now it doesn't feel like they're there yet. The second thing to talk about is that he is looking for a big payday here. All right, so you have to shell out some massive money, similar to what Khalil Mack wanted with the Raiders, right? You want to go ahead and shell out massive money, but you also have to trade draft capital here. So similar in a way to the Jonathan Taylor situation, right? Not only do you have to trade draft capital, but then now you got to pay him top dollar as well. But as opposed to the Jonathan Taylor trade or potential trade, I'm more open to the Chris Jones one because he plays a more impactful position, I feel like, and a position that, again, it makes more sense to pay than a running back. So a defensive tackle, you should be more comfortable paying more so than a running back just because of the grueling nature of that position. So that's the second reason why. Again, he's looking for a big payday and you have to give up draft capital for him. So the Bears do have the money and they do have the requisite draft capital. It's just, is Chris Jones and an investment in him going to put you over the top? I'm just not so sure about that. And I don't know if the Bears are at a place where they need a guy to just put him over the top. Are they a piece away? I don't believe they are. They're still a couple pieces away. And so to me, that's where I just lean towards no more so than yes. Like, I just feel like you can wait and just continue to build through the draft and go, that route. And I know you guys might be thinking, Faiz, you're always saying no to these potential trades. And it's not that I'm anti-trade. Trust me, I'm not. It's just that it has to make perfect sense for me. It has to make you know, it has to add up and, make sense for both sides, and more importantly, the Bears. And to me, again, this makes a little bit of sense because it fits a need. Again, it's a position that you're more willing to pay than a running back, but the age kind of scares me a little bit. The timeline scares me a little bit. And that's where, giving up the draft capital scares me a little bit. So that's just where I'm at. If Chris Jones is 24, I think I'd be like all in to do it. Him being a little bit older or much older than that is kind of where I'm at. So to me, ultimately, that's where I stand on it. I probably would shy away from doing this. And ultimately, my prediction is I don't think the Bears make this trade either. I think the Chiefs, I don't think they'll let Chris Jones go. He's their best defensive player, and I think they will end up coming to an agreement with him and keeping him. And Chris Jones in Kansas City is going to have a chance to, compete for championships for as long as Patrick Mahomes is there. So I don't know, why he wouldn't want to stay there if, again, they meet his financial demand. So ultimately, I think he stays in KC, and I don't think the Bears make this trade. So that's where I'm at, people. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching.